Heyo. I already have an announcement from Rose Cup. Have you already started? Oh, okay.
That moment when you realize you're on mute. Hi. I literally just logged on! No, my computer is slow. Like, see, now I see Night of Knee has invited you to their custom game. Hog. I am about. Listen, I'm in the middle of an auto chess game right now. I need you to not bully me.
An auto chess game.
Hey, auto chess is the way of the future.
It is.
It's not.
Frags just yet, but Shock finds Crew, and the Earth Shatter comes in. It's massive! Paragon showing us it's his turf. White's now
And a pulse pop from Trev ends up getting the double kill there in the backline. Upgrade able to pick up. Oh goodness, here comes the Blizzard! Gonna look to get the attack.
And then the sleep though in the nade in, and they don't even need a single ult here to win it other than Shatter. And Kavat taking out Socher there from a mile away.
Upgrade taking a big throw. That's the long one. Oh, but
Paragon with another Shatter! That's three
yeah, and ends up
Shatters!
getting love in the background. This may be possible. It could be. It really could be the boom. Oh, still here.
Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup. Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing match at Evo.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at the Rose Cup Platinum Edition. We've got the Kings Row Saints versus Ignited Embers going on tonight. I'm Captain Jack, your play-by-play, joined by the Mega Lad on the color roll tonight. How are you feeling, buddy? I know you were kind of under the weather yesterday.
Yesterday was a terrible day. You know, we saw some unfortunate things happen. But you know what? It's okay. We've rebounded. We are here to watch some hopefully good Overwatch tonight between these two
Oh,
teams.
I can almost guarantee we're going to see that. I do want to give an on-stream apology to our teams that played last night, though. So, interesting fact, normally we stream to the YouTube channel when we can't go live due to Overwatch League. And so we did that. Everything was good. Like, I was watching the stream to make sure that it went through all right. And then just like roll queue, it disappeared. The replay disappeared into the ether of the internet, and we have no idea where it went. So we absolutely apologize that we couldn't get you some Overwatch action last night, but we definitely got you some this evening. Give a shout out to Fat Cactus Jones. There you go. You're welcome, Fat Cactus Jones, for that shout out. We've got some amazing work up tonight. Do we have the team screen set up there, Nee? All right. So it looks like for the side of Kings Row Saints, We got Paragon and Snowbrit for the tank lineup, Nexus and Green Dye for the DPS, and they started the match while I was reading off the names. So we got Seinfeld and Whale for heals for Kings Row Saints. For Ignited Embers, we've got Sam Terr and Pika Bendito on the tank roles, Torrent, Fury, and Wave on the DPS, and Fix Soup and Zach Taksu. I hope Zakataksu. I think I got that one. All right. On the heels for Ignited Embers. So Kings Row Saints, if I remember correctly, they might have had a difficult run in coming in to the Platinum Division. I can't remember exactly, only because I just got thrown into this like a couple minutes ago. So what do you think we're going to end up seeing tonight? I know Kings Row Saints incredibly aggressive, but I haven't seen Ignited Embers play yet, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's going to be a lot on Embers just because, while I don't know a whole lot about both the teams we see here, I know for a fact Nexus, if he decides to, can just hard carry games with that Reaper pick. He's been so phenomenal on it from what we've seen before. So it's just going to come down to Embers being able to shut it down, and if they can, then they might have a path to victory.
All right, we'll go ahead and see if that is the case. They're going ahead and moving into the objective. Composition-wise, it looks like we're seeing that typical Ryan's area we see from Kings Row Saints, along with the May Reaper, kind of the new goats meta, if you will. Teleporter comes in from Torrent Fury, though, to get Ignited Embers on the objective. Immortality Field is up, but so goes the May Wall as they go in to try to get some additional damage. Paragon going to get the first pick onto Zach as the Shatter already coming out from Paragon. Just absolute aggression, as we said, we see from the Kings Row Saints. Just, whoa. I cannot believe how quick that Shatter came out. Less than 30 seconds, if that. And the objective is already climbing for the Kings Row Saints, 13%.
When you allow Ryan to play the game and just, he can be overly aggressive, rely on his Zarya, and just throw in hammer swings, build up that Shatter instantly like that. Like you said, it was just a very clean, decisive fight win from the side of the Kings Row Saints.
All right, well, we see Ignited Embers moving in through the back door, seeing if they can make their way in. Kings Row Saints setting up a strong defense. Here comes the tackle in from Paragon as the Maywall comes up. Shatter coming down from Sam Terr, but doesn't manage to get much of anything as the Fire Strike comes in onto Zach, ends up taking them out of the fight once again. Nano coming in onto Sam Terr, gets taken down by Nexus as Torrent takes down Paragon in return. Snowbrit and Whale are going to clean up the rest, with Green Dye getting the last pick onto Fix Soup. And that's going to go ahead and clear the objective, 56% and climbing for the Kings Row Saints.
I think Embers has to change up their playstyle just a bit here because they're all focusing on this over-aggressive Rhine, Paragon, just being able to do a lot of work, yes, but by all focusing him, it allows the rest of his team to just be free. But that grab,
the Graviton ends up coming in, right, trying to send some over the side, ends up getting waved, and the rest are going to get taken down by Paragon and Nexus right there. That was a beautiful cleanup right there. Got some folks in the chat asking, is Sigma disabled for this evening? And that's a good question, because technically it's the end of week 2 and also the start of week 3. So I'm not exactly for certain if we are starting up Sigma tonight. We'll go ahead and get some clarification on that in a bit. Shatter, though, and the Blossom Nexus with the quintuple kill. Team kill ringing out for the Kings Row Saints, 100-0 for the side of Kings Row Saints here on the Gardens area of Lijiang Tower.
that was just insane aggression that wasn't punished at all from the side of Ignited Embers. Interesting that they're trying to mirror this aggressive composition when Kings Row is clearly just being more forward-footed with it. Maybe you want to try switching it up a bit. Afara can work well into these compositions. We've seen teams run it before. Especially on that point, though, like Ryan Zarya, you don't see a lot in the meta nowadays, but I don't know. Kings Row is just making it work.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're going to see that those mirror comps coming out once again. And it looks like Dry Baka says this is Green Day's first official match with the Kings Row Saints. So I gotta say, doing an incredible job on that May. And it looks like our folks in the chat have figured it out. Seinfeld already getting the boop kill on Fixed Soup as Paragon gets the double. Sam Terror able to take down Paragon with the tackle, but Nexus follows up onto Sam. Snowbrit ends up getting Torrent right there, and that's going to be a clear of the objective once again as we see the Kings Row Saints go ahead and take first acceptance of control on the night market.
Yeah, I mean, you do see the occasion in shatters like that. My goodness. I mean, just stagger fights like this that are going to get cleaned up, but just the over-aggression, I keep reiterating time and again. Like, you get the occasional pick like that onto Paragon there, but at the end of the day, it's not doing anything for you just because you lose 3 when you get that 1. So you're forced to reset every time if you're Embers. You've got to find a new way to attack this.
Nope, I completely agree with you there. And as I had said, our chat ended up figuring out technically this is the end of week 2 because this match is scheduled for week 2. So we will not be seeing Sigma tonight. You will see more than likely some Sigma play tomorrow, depending on the teams that end up coming out schedule-wise. I actually have to work on that after we're done here. So we will see the action going down. Shatter coming in again from Paragon after the double kill comes out. Nexus again with the quad. It was looking to be that Kings Row Saints was going to fall to that because Pika Bandito had gotten the double right there. But again, we see Nexus coming out with that Blossom 4K, just cleans up anything that was coming the way of Paragon and ended up saving the objective.
Yeah, definitely right there. Just, you've seen this fight time and again. Snowbrit on the Zarya allowing Paragon to be over-aggressive, but as they're looping back into the point, there are some ults, and picks like that can start a fight.
All right, Graviton already coming out as the tackle comes in, ends up getting stunned out. The Blossom following up on that. Sam Terror ends up getting the team kill with Pika Bandito, clearing the objective of Kings Row Saints, and they're going to get their first capture here on the night market. Start that percentage climb, 8% and climbing to the 90% of the Kings Row Saints.
The only downside to that fight, if you're Embers, is you use 3 ults, but you have 3 other ults working with, and you're throwing in Blizzard right away, and this can get you huge fights.
That is true. The Blizzard ends up coming out from Wave as Sam Terror and Torrent follow up. Shatter comes down from Sam Terror looking to clean up the rest of the team and will end up being successful. It seems like the ignited embers have indeed ignited those embers under their buttocks, and they are currently on fire, 40% and climbing here in the night market.
Yes, indeed, but now they're just looking at all they have is Coalescence. If they can make this Coalescence huge, though, either stall out entry or deny a lot of the damage coming in with heals, maybe they can stall it out with picks.
All right, Blizzard and Shatter end up coming down for Green Dye and Paragon. They're clearing the objective right now. Got it back in Kings Row Saints' favor, but the fight is far from over as Torrent Fury falls. We see the Maywall go up, but all that does is prevent them from getting to the objective as they go ahead and work their way in. Sam Terror coming up on it, but ends up getting taken down by Snowbrit. Coalescence now coming out from Whale, trying to see if they can clear up the rest of the objective as Nexus follows up on Torrent. We're going to see in the backline right now is Wave versus Paragon as they're looking to get that boop. Blizzard now coming out for Wave, looking to see if the cleanup from that Shatter going to end up working. Nexus ends up popping the Blossom that saves the point once again, and Kings Row Saints will end up taking the victory here on Lijiang Tower.
And that was blindingly fast. You know, Ignited Embers were able to get that for a second, but just in this mirror, I think it's coming down to the different styles of Rhyme play you're seeing. Paragon being this overly aggressive because he knows he can with Snowbrit on the Zarya and his supports keeping him alive. Whereas Sam Tier is more about protecting his team, which isn't a bad thing, but in this mirror, you have to match aggression for aggression. Otherwise, you're going to get run over every time.
Nope, I completely agree with you on that one. It was just very straightforward from the Kings Row Saints. The aggression was huge. Ignited Embers were able to kind of counter that, but it only lasted for so long. Nexus was essentially just left to kind of do their own thing. The only one that was really focusing them down as much as possible was Torrent Fury, but very few times were they able to get the picks that was needed right there. So it's unfortunate for Ignited Embers, but the match is far from over this evening, as it looks like our next map is going to end up being Eichenwald, which is interesting. Normally we see King's Row. So I'm
I mean,
actually a
if
little
you
bit.
see Kings Row Saints come out with that aggressive of a Ryan Zarya, do you want to send them to their home map like
No,
that?
I agree with you. I completely agree with you there. So, um, it looks like we had someone jumping into the middle of the stream right there. No worries, folks. If you're enjoying the action that you're seeing this evening, though, be sure to hit that heart button at the top of your screen. You can even support our community by hitting that subscribe button. $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will continue to support this amazing community of 126 teams that we have in the Rose Cup for this season. So you can also end up going to our Matcherino page, which will be featuring our prize pool for this season, currently at $280. And you don't even have to pay a cent. Only 10 minutes of your time. Do a couple of quests, share some tweets, like some tweets, things like that. And you earn money for our prize pool for these 5 divisions. So be sure to get on that. What were you saying there? Matcherino, I say. If you are part of our Discord, Nee is very creative when it comes to advertising about our Matcherino. Even has a compilation of President Obama talking about how important our Matcherino is. So be sure to check that out at our Rose Cup Discord. It's always very interesting. Megalad, what do you see coming out right now for compositions?
Well, what I see is we're looking at this mirror composition yet again, and I'm not understanding it per se because possibly you don't have the DPS players to play it, but on the side of Ignited Embers, this is a Pharah map. Like, last map was a bit of a Pharah map, especially on Gardens, but now you're on a truly Pharah-favored map which can counter this composition from the side of Kings Row Saints, and you're not opting for it. You're instead opting for the mirror again, so I don't know. Their aggression's got to be better this time.
Well, let's hope so. Let's go ahead and get into the damage that's coming in right now from Ignited Embers. Ends up getting the first couple picks onto Paragon and Green Dye. Nexus able to get that pick onto Fix Soup, as well as Seinfeld following up on Sam Tier. And it is a 4v4 fight. Make that 3v4 as Nexus ends up picking off Torrent Whale, following up on their counter as well, and taking down Pika Bandito. That's going to go ahead and clear the objective of everyone but Wave, who's going to get touched right in the buttocks right before they jump right off the map. Unfortunate, but they're still going to end up getting that reset. 3 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and then outside of your blizzards on both sides, just Kings Row Saints comes out with a huge ult advantage in almost every ult. You know, Samter a little bit ahead in the Shatter, but as we've seen from Paragon, that doesn't matter. He's already taken back the lead. Like, absolutely insane ult economy going on.
All right, the Shatter ends up coming down for Sam Tier, ends up getting 2, but a counter Shatter comes out from Paragon as they both end up getting taken out of the fight right there. We're going to see Wave get followed up on by Green Dye, so it's a 4v3 or a 4v6 fight once again, and oh my goodness. I would say I'm going to continue to be excited about these Blossoms because I really want to be, but Nexus is just, like, that timing. Just,
I mean,
wow.
I knew coming into this his Reaper was phenomenal. I've seen it before, but the entirety of Kings Row Saints just being aggressive, but at the same time, like, Seinfeld and Whale keeping the team alive through these aggressive plays. Snowbrit with the clutch bubbles keeping people alive when they shouldn't even live through things. You've got to try to match this aggression.
And there comes the 4-man Graviton. Now coupled with the Blizzard coming out from Wave, trying to save the day. End up getting some freezes on the side. Ends up taking down 3, 4, 5 fallen. That's a 6-man kill right there. Team kill gonna ring out. It looks like that Graviton just was not planned out with thinking about how the Blizzard could counter that, essentially. So you got to be careful. Be watching Wave on that May. They're going to go ahead and unlock the objective. Now 4 minutes on the clock as they move into objective number 2.
And then also you have to keep in mind that Ignited Embers is going to come out of that with 4 ultimates up. They've got 2% to build on a beat drop, and then they have the 4 as it goes right there. And they're almost close to a shatter, so you get point A all for 1 ult. So now you could have a very good snowball here through B.
Woo! And the Blossom comes out from Torrent, ends up getting the double on Whale and Nexus as Zach following up on Paragon. Blizzard comes out for Green Die, but they get taken out early. Before that Blizzard is even able to do any I cannot talk this evening. Before they're able to do any follow-up on that Blizzard, unfortunately. So that's another wasted ult for the side of Kings Row Saints. Currently 3 online for the side of Ignited Embers, and it seems like they're right at home.
Yeah, they finally found their measured aggression, because the downside of playing overly aggressive with the Kings Row Saints is they're just going to feed their brains out sometimes like that.
That Shatter, they are focusing Paragon like Paragon's the plague, I'm telling you. Nexus able to get the pick onto Sam Terror, though, as well as Wave. So it's a 4v5 fight on the objective right now as Reaper goes for Reaper. Snowbird ends up following up on Torrent Fury as Pika Bendito ends up taking down Green Day. And that is going to clear the objective for right now of Ignited Embers. 2 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock.
Yes, indeed. And like I was trying to say before, you know, a lovely little team fight cut me off. And as we're going in for a huge shatter.
That Shatter coming out once again from Paragon, going to allow them to clear. It looks like the fight was going to end, and then they ended up pushing in with the people they had, which probably wasn't the best idea because Paragon just cleaned that up.
I mean, Paragon can just use shatters at this point. It feels like he's getting them back so quickly. It doesn't matter. But like I was saying, the over-aggression from the side of Kings Row Saints in moments like where they lost A can come back to bite them, where they just chuck in and all because they're like, whatever, we can do it. But then, like, it's got to be those moments where Ignited Embers has to come online and be able to counter what they're doing.
All right, well, we'll see how they do. The Graviton ends up coming in, but oh, man, that is a long tackle from Paragon right there. Bad positioning to be in, essentially the spawn of your enemy right there as they go ahead and pull back from the objective. Seinfeld ends up picking up Fixed Soup right there, so it's tied up a little bit. The Blossom comes down from Nexus, ends up taking down Torrent Fury, but that's about all they're going to get. Graviton now coming out as Snowbrit able to follow up on Sam Terror as well as Wave. Snowbrit just cleaning up the objective quad kill right there as they were trying to follow up on that Graviton, and that is going to lock down the objective once again. 1 minute on the clock as Ignited Embers try to figure out how to deal with the Kings Row Saints.
And as I was highlighting, you know, Snowbrit has been coming in with clutch bubbles, keeping people alive when they shouldn't, which allows them to remain at high energy. So you have plays like that where just, oh yeah, 100 damage or 100,000% Zarya going Super Saiyan can just do.
The bubbled Blossom comes out. Green Die ends up getting taken down, not able to place that wall up just soon enough. Torrent able to take down Nexus as well as the Coalescence trying to save the day, but the Maywell's going to end up separating Paragon from the rest of the team. Going to get taken down by Torrent Fury and pinned by Sam Terror. And it looks like that's going to move them all the way back to spawn for right now. The aggression is showing very powerful, but that payload still wasn't moving until about 2 seconds ago. So they still have time to get in here, do some damage on the bridge, if at all possible. Shatter comes out, doesn't end up getting anything for Sam Terror as the Maywall and the Graviton come out. Blizzard, though, from Wave, once again, ends up clearing up the entire Kings Row Saints. They fall for it every time. It seems overtime ticking away, and that payload's going to make its way into objective number 2, giving them 1 minute 30 seconds back on the clock.
You have to keep in mind, they went into the fight off of A into point B with 4 minutes on the clock. In Kings Row Saints, a lot of fights where they're already down a person are still able to win and keep the payload contested, so they just get no movement at all. And I mean, you have to complete this map if you're Ignited Embers. Just getting it to be might not be enough, especially with the aggression we've been seeing.
Nope, I completely agree with you there, and that aggression is continuing forward as the Coalition ends up getting Popeye Whale. Shatter comes out, but Torrent bringing out the Blossom to clean up, ends up getting 2 with the help of Pika Bandito. It is a 4v6 fight on the objective right now as it moves in. 45 seconds on the clock, 2-1. Snowbird able to touch just barely. Paragon gonna swap over to the Hammond to try to shore it up as the Blizzard now coming out for Wave, looking to see if they can clear it up. See if they can clear up the objective. Sam holding on as much as possible as we see now the Graviton and Blossom coming out for Nexus right there. Ends up getting 1 as Pika Bandito takes him out of the fight. Green Day ends up getting the double and clears the objective with the help of Seinfeld getting a double as well. 10 seconds remaining on the clock and only 1 meter left. That is going to be a hard stuck right there if they cannot touch that objective in the next 5 seconds.
I mean, it's going to come down to, can we get a charge in onto the objective, or can the Reaper touch? And it looks like
Nope,
all for
and
naught.
Paragon was there to tackle them right back out of it if they ended up doing it. The Graviton ended up holding them against the wall, just barely 1.2 something meters from that final objective resting point. But now we're going to see this swap over to the Kings Row Saints on the attack, and I gotta say it's going to be interesting because the aggression that we continue to see from the Kings Row Saints could be their downfall trying to move through this first choke area.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. As you notice, it's just a matter of they'll push up too far, they'll dedicate an ult or two they don't need to, and they can get punished for it. WAV has been incredible in the May, knowing that they're all going to come in on the whenever they use Graviton, so he's been throwing out Blizzard, which allows his team to get these pickoffs. Torrent being able to get pickoffs on his own without any ultimates or anything is also extremely helpful, but I'm thinking that the war is still going to have to be between Samter and Paragon, between who can get this over-aggressive Rhine play, who can build the most shatters, and who can just scare the other Rhine into holding up that shield the whole time.
Nope, I completely agree with you there, and right now the ability to do that is really going to land more on Samter than it will on Paragon. Having the spawn advantage, they're going to find themselves in a good placing. But once again, we see these mirror comps, and I've kind of seen it in the chat too. Like, it's like goats all over again, almost. Like, you just see the same composition coming out. But I mean, hey, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? Like, why go something else if it ends up working for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, plus we don't have Sigma yet, so you can't just go copy OWL like we all want to and just run the double barrier meta. We're still here just playing, and I mean, Ryan Zarya, it's a lot of damage output.
I'm surprised how powerful it still is in this composition, to be completely honest with you. But the fight has already started. Paragon, I'm not for certain why they were tackling backwards, but I'm sure they've got a reason. The Maywall ends up shutting down any type of escape, so they're going to have to get in and be aggressive. Torrent Fury is going to take him out as Whale follows up on Torrent. Nexus going to fall to fix Soup, so it's a 4v5 fight on the objective. Green Dye trying to hold on, but going to end up going for that hard reset as they go ahead and make their way back to spawn. Samter and Paragon just about 10% away from their shatters respectively as they go ahead and move their way back in for a second fight.
Yeah, and we're close on the ult economies, but you know, Ignited Embers does have that edge, so if you're coming into this as Kings Row Saints, you want to just not use anything, give them a dry push, see if you can force ultimates out, and then come in on your next fight. Or dedicate shatters, just like that.
Double shatters coming out from Samter and Paragon, but Torrent ends up getting the first pick on the Paragon and Nexus. Wave going to follow up on that as well as Samter, and that is going to clear the objective once again. They're going to chase the rest of Kings Row Saints all the way back to spawn. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock right now, and that is, this defense is showing to be pretty hard fought for the Ignited Embers.
Yeah, definitely a phenomenal defense, but also Paragon, we're finally starting to see the points where the cockiness is getting to him. Dedicating a shatter like that, didn't really have the best opportunity for it. Sure got some stuns, but there was no way to follow up on it. So really just kind of threw Shatter in for no reason.
All right, double Graviton ends up coming out, as well as the Blossom from Torrent, looking to see if it can get some damage, and Wave also coming out with the beat drop, as well as, Wave coming out with the Blizzard, as Fixed Soup comes out with the beat drop, rather. Thankfully, we didn't see any of those odd combinations of ultimates this time around, but ends up clearing the objective once again of the Kings Row Saints, and Kings Row Saints really gotta kind of figure out with 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock how they're gonna get past this defense.
Yeah, Nexus isn't able to get into these positioning, as it feels like, in order to do any sort of pickoffs. He does have the Blossom online now, so hopefully get some picks with that. And interesting Blizzard?
I think it ended up getting blocked by Wave's Maywall. I think that's what ended up coming down. Shatter comes out, Nexus following up with the Blossom, doesn't manage to get much of anything as the Coalescence comes out. Torrent Fury and Zach gonna end up cleaning up the objective with Fix Soup and Wave right there, and that's gonna leave 50 seconds now on the clock, and Kings Row Saints right now is just struggling.
Yeah, they don't seem to be getting the opening. They seem to be just chucking ults in, hoping for the best. Obviously, Green Die, as you said, probably caught by the wall, so nothing he could do. But Nexus dedicating the Blossom straight into a Rhine barrier when nothing else was really close. I mean...
Yep, I think we're seeing more desperation here at this point, and that's kind of unfortunate. Definitely not what you want to see. The Maywall comes up. Fast Shatter, though, coming in from Paragon, ends up tackling away Sam Terkin. They clean it up. Both Rhines are out of the fight. Torrent coming out with the Blossom, ends up taking down Green Die, as the Blizzard also coming out from Wave. That is going to clear the objective of anything possible, and unfortunately, Megalad, you're probably going to have to eat your words, because Kings Row Saints wasn't even able to get past the first objective here, unfortunately.
I mean, they have the last second touch with the Moira, but as Whale goes down, I mean, unless some shenanigans happen out of nowhere here, it looks as though Kings Row has lost it. I mean, they just were way too over-aggressive, and it ended up biting them in the butt in the end.
Nope, that's really what it comes down to. Ignited Embers going to take away the victory here on Eichenwald, tying up the series 1-1 this evening in this Platinum Face-Off. Play of the game going to end up going to Torrent Fury with more than likely an incredible Blossom. I can almost... Oh, maybe not. Nope, just some all-out clearing the objective. Quintuple kill. And that was just unfortunate right there. And that was the thing that Kings Row Saints just fell for over and over again. Like, I know that you don't have the kill feeds or the kill cams rather, so that you can track ultimates that way. But you gotta know whenever you have that Graviton online, you gotta wait for that Blizzard, because you know Wave's gonna have it up, and that just seems to be a continued matchup between these two. Kings Row Saints very aggressive on the control point, was able to secure that victory, but not so much when it comes to Ignited Embers on that hybrid map. So it's going to be interesting to see how they continue on after the half. Megalad, do you have anything you want to add?
I mean, really just, they're finally punishing the over-aggression, and if Kings Row Saints can bring back the aggression but measure it a bit instead of just chucking things in for fun, they might still have a chance. But right now, Ignited Embers finally, after that first map, it seems like they've downloaded their opponent and they know what they have to do.
All right. Well, looking in the chat right now, Cryptographer says, I've never seen a team with Pika Bandito lose a game. I mean, he's perfect, incredible, good aim, intelligent, handsome. I don't see Pika Bandito losing a game.
I mean,
so...
you know what? I have not seen enough evidence to deny that.
I have not seen enough evidence to confirm it either. Ho ho. So we will just have to see after the half. So we will be back with more Rose Cup action in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned.
Down. Get up, down. Get up, down, the bass and sound. Get up, down, the bass and sound. Get up, down, the bass and sound. Get up, down, the bass and sound.
has all, he has all, he has all!
Reaper. What? Where's Whale? Oh, there he is. Whale's hacked. That's. Well,
Nice.
What am I?
Kill Zarya. Don't allow it.
Zarya.
It's just Zarya, boys!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Rose Cup Platinum Division fight going on this evening between the Kings Row Saints and Ignited Embers. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Megalad on the color roll. Megalad, do you want to give us a quick recap of what we saw during the first half?
Yeah, we saw 2 different maps that were both one-sided. Just one team was one-sided on each map, you know? You had the over-aggression from Kings Row Saints, which got them Lijiang Tower, but Ignited Embers managed to counterplay that aggression on Eichenwald. So now, going into the second half, it's just going to come down to, can they keep the counterplay up, or will the aggression from Kings Row Saints just eventually run over Embers?
That is incredibly true. The aggression that has been coming out from Kings Row Saints has been wild right now. So they either have to figure out how they're going to continue to use that aggression and still stay safe, or we will have to end up seeing them get taken out by the Ignited Embers who have figured out their strategy. So I think the biggest hit that's going to come out is that blizzard. That blizzard has been shutting down every single blossom and graviton combo that we've been seeing coming out. So without shutting down wave on that Mei, which I can almost guarantee in 5 seconds we're going to end up seeing again, then they're going to have a hard time defending this objective. But I could be also completely wrong.
Yeah, you know, obviously, you have the attackers and defenders. Your attackers, you might not know what they're playing just yet, because it's the attackers, you can go up to the last second, but defenders, we're seeing Kings Row Saints definitely stick with this new GOATS composition-esque deal, whatever you want to call it. I believe I've heard like the slow blossom, or there's some pun on a blossom.
I can't say I've heard anything other than the new goats. So it's
Welcome to the new GOATS.
Welcome to the new goats. I mean, that's literally what it comes down to. Like that.
High sustain compositions are the fad.
Yep, that's pretty much the fad right now. So let's go ahead and see what they can do. It looks like instead of the Mei, Torrent Fury is going to come out on the Symmetra. So
which puts WAV onto the Reaper.
Yep, they're looking to do the teleport to point. And we're going to go ahead and see them already set up on the objective. That Mei wall is going to come up, but it's not going to... What?
Oh, wait,
I was
hang
not
on.
expecting that teleporter placement. Ended up putting them on the high ground. They're going to push it in one direction as we see Wave and Torrent Fury try to come in from behind. Samter ends up taking down Seinfeld, which is going to be a good pick right there as Paragon ends up falling to Torrent Fury. We see the turrets going up for Torrent, looking to see if they can clear up the objective right there, and it looks like they're going to end up being successful as Wave and Torrent end up taking down Nexus and Green Dye. 3 minutes on the clock, and that's going to be objective number 1 after they end up landing Snowbrit out of commission.
Yeah, and that teleporter right there, that's a Chengdu special if I've ever seen it. It wasn't played to the full effect that I've seen Chengdu do it, but you do sometimes teleport to that higher level just because it doesn't allow you to get shot. You can choose when to initiate still. What's going to be interesting now is if Torrent decides to stay on this Symmetra, which coming up on a wall, he very well may, but at the same time, wall doesn't help a whole lot, maybe against Reaper bullets, but outside of that, everybody just kind of walks through the wall.
Pretty much, but they don't have like a Doomfist or anything to engage on, and if they continue with these surprise tactics like this, they might not have too much of a problem. Amplification Matrix ends up coming out for Zach, gets the double as Pika Bandito follows up onto Paragon. It's a 3v6 fight on the objective. Make that 2v6 as Snowbird ends up falling to Wave. The only one that I can see that's left on the objective right now is Seinfeld as Whale comes in to try to contest for just a moment as the first hit comes down. Shatter coming down from Paragon, but ends up getting shut down by Wave very early on, not even able to touch the objective very quickly. We're going to see Snowbrit supercharged already, but going to get taken down again by Zach and Samter. Wave following up on the double with Seinfeld and Whale rather, and that is going to be a clear of the objective. 4 minutes 43 seconds on the clock, and it seems aggression has swapped sides.
It definitely has, but also they know how to play this around the Symmetra well, it seems, Ignited Embers, but also Zack Attack's positioning was simply flawless on that second point on the Baptiste because he comes down behind the entirety of King's Row Saints where they're not going to be expecting him, and he drops the amplification matrix, there we go, which does allow him to deal double damage, but it also gives him double healing. A lot of people tend to forget that because they just see Baptiste go and get 4 kills after it's dropped, and it was just nobody was going to be able to turn around and deal with him because they had the rest of the team to deal with. I mean, that's some high IQ stuff.
So I want to answer a question that Rick Thomas seems to have in the chat, asking why Sigma is disabled. And the reason that Sigma is disabled, I know they're already running Sigma in Overwatch League, but for us, we wanted to give our players some additional time to be able to work with them. The metas kind of hadn't come out yet, so to throw him in at the very beginning was just something that we weren't comfortable with as an organization. So we wanted to give until Sigma was like legitimately released in legitimate role queue competitive, which is week 3. So as of tomorrow, technically he was already supposed to be off on September 1st. We're going to continue to stick with that, but we will end up allowing that to move forward, despite the fact that I know Season 18 has been pushed off just a little bit due to some issues. And right now we see I'm trying to figure out what Nexus was trying to do there. I think Nexus was jumping on the May wall trying to see if they could get the teleporter set up, but I couldn't tell specifically if that was what was going on. We will end up seeing them teleport into the side room here, though, to move their way around the objective, which is another way that we've seen the Symmetra teleporter used many, many times. We haven't seen anyone go down just yet, but almost a minute off the clock has been wasted for the side of the Kings Row Saints. The Maywall ends up coming up for Wave right there as they go ahead and giving them some extra time to set up on the objective. The aggression comes in as the Shatter going down. Pika Bandito following up on Paragon. That's going to go ahead and clear the objective right here of the Kings Row Saints. Whale able to get the double right there, but it's not going to end up being enough as they go for that hard reset. If they can move in fast enough, they might be able to take advantage of it, but I highly doubt that happening right here.
Yeah, it's hard to take advantage of a two-man pick when the two picks were a Lucio that has speed boost and a Symmetra with a teleporter.
Yep,
It's just
they.
unfortunate.
Yeah, essentially both of them that can just get back to the objective rather quickly, as we see already happening. So the barrier coming up right now for Torrent Fury as the Symmetra turret's just going at that backline. Shatter comes down for Paragon, but gets taken down by Pika Bandito as the continued aggression of Ignited Embers just continues to tear through the Kings Row Saints. Team kill gonna ring loud and proud as Seinfeld goes for that hard reset. 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the matter of, once again, I don't even know if it's aggression from the Ignited Embers, but it's just they're playing so patiently. They're like, okay, we know you guys are going to get over aggressive. We know you're not going to wait in plays
Oh
like
boy,
that.
here comes that wall. Here comes that shatter out from Sam Terr, as well as the Graviton from Pika Bandito. That's going to go ahead and take Paragon out of the fight, and Kings Row Saints playing it smart. Not going to go ahead and push that any further, if at all possible. I have to say the part that I was surprised about, but now that I look at the percentages, I'm not, is turning their strategy against them. Green Dye just didn't have that Blizzard up, unfortunately, but that would have definitely been good timing for that.
It would have been good timing, and now we have the huge TP, and
Oh, there it goes, and the other barrier, Graviton Blizzard combo coming out right now as Paragon gets the kill onto Sam Terror, but now the Blizzard gonna come out from Wave. Oh no, there's the Blizzard. Both Blizzards were held onto right there until the very end. Paragon and Nexus gonna end up getting doubles on the objective as Wave able to take down Green Day, but Paragon's gonna follow up on Wave, grab the objective with only 40 seconds left on the clock. That's gonna give him 3 minutes, 40 seconds to take this. And as we've seen before, that's not something that like having time in the bank is all that's important. It doesn't matter how much time you have, it's just that you have it. So if they're able to take this objective rather quickly, it may end up working out in their favor.
Well, exactly. Right now, Ignited Embers has stopped being the #1 enemy for the side of Kings Row Saints. Right now, their enemy is the time bank. And when you have to push this aggressive, and essentially, if you're not getting it in this fight, then it's going to be looking very bad. You have to play this over aggressive. And
the shatter ends up coming down from Paragon, getting the tackle onto Wave. That could be exactly what they need as the rest of Ignited Embers go ahead and chase them. They're not going to end up getting the kill, though. Torrent Fury is able to follow up on Whale, but Paragon's going to get the tackle on Torrent, as the only one left on the objective right now is Fixed Soup. They're going to end up falling to Nexus right there. As we see Sam get back into the fight, they're going to try to hold on as much as possible. Barrier comes up, but where? I don't
think
even
it's
see
in the
where
spawn.
Is it in the spawn? Oh my goodness, they set up the barrier the wrong way. Now we're gonna see the barrier coming out the right way as Nexus pops it out, ends up getting the kill onto Torrent Fury. 2 ticks right now on the objective, 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock as Seinfeld ends up falling Sam Terror. Snowbird's gonna follow up on Zach and Fixed Soup as Whale gets that death ball kill on to Wave. We're going to see now the Doomfist coming out as Torrent Fury just flies into the air. That's going to be that final tick. 2 minutes, 3 seconds on the clock as we see the Kings Row Saints lock down objective 2. Looking in the chat, we have Cryptograph and Pyresis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Saying, span out this man to help out Sam. And right now, Sam's in a good position, but they were able to get objective 2. It's really going to come down to Kings Row Saints on that attack once again. Since they have the lower time bank, they have to figure out how to get into this objective faster without necessarily using ultimates or being as aggressive as they have been.
Ready for battle.
And also, you have to keep in mind, it is 2 CP. You could give an attacking team 20 seconds. They can still take both points with ease. It's just the nature of the maps. All it is that one decisive fight. And Paragon has the potential to open it up entirely for his team. It's just he needs to have that measured aggression about him. He can't just try to 1v6. He's not an old school Brigitte. He's got to know when to go with his team. He's got to know when to play passive. And they can easily take it. But at the same time, it's a very easy point A hold for the side of Ignited Embers.
So I think the thing that's going to end up killing them in the end, so to speak, is the fact that we're seeing these mirror comps continue to come out. And I almost wonder if having green dye on the Reaper would be a better option here. Like, still having the Sim teleporter, but is the Mei that that beneficial, I should say, to the team? And looking in the chat, McBeanbean, it's Captain Jack. Yes, it's me. Welcome to my home. This is where I do things. But we're going to see the teleporter Ore coming in very early in this fight. They're going to put the Maywall up, looking to get that first tick on the objective, if at all possible. But Torrent Fury's going to take down Paragon, and the cleanup is going to just continue to come in for the side of Ignited Embers. Sam Terra ends up getting the double, as well as Torrent Fury. Team kill again, ringing out loud for the side of Ignited Embers, and that's going to go ahead and shut down that push.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's unfortunate. You could see what at the beginning of that fight there, before it really started, Green Dye was trying to boost Nexus up on the Mei wall to try to get a teleporter in. It's a cheeky little strategy you can do, but to no avail. You lose time off the clock, and now you're looking at less than a minute to try to get in here, and Paragon's going to the other side of the map.
Yeah, I'm not for certain what that tackle was for. I'm not for certain what... Whoa.
It's fine, there's a teleporter. You're back with your team.
I didn't know where the other end of that teleport was the question. The barrier ends up coming up for Torrent, though, as the Coalescence comes out for Whale, looking to see if they can support the damage that's coming in, but it's not going to end up being successful when you have a second Coalescence coming out from Zac Attack. That's going to go ahead and clear the objective once again. 25 seconds on the clock, and Kings Row Saints haven't been able to make a tick on the objective yet.
This is your last fight. You've got to make it count, and it's also at the same time you have to make it into an extended fight, because you do have a chance to get these ultimates online, potentially even before other ultimates on the side of Embers are online, but you've got to make it extended, and you've got to at least touch the point in order to give yourself that OT.
Well, that's what they're going to do right here. The Maywall ends up coming up, but it doesn't seem to block out much of the damage. Wave ends up getting the kill on the Nexus as the beat drop comes in from Fix Soup, and that's all she wrote, folks. The Blizzard's coming down as overtime ticks away, but team kill already happened right there. And I agree, McBeanbean, it is a cluster on the objective right now. That was just absolutely unfortunate, and it's going to come down now to the Kings Row Saints trying to hold on to this objective for 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Unfortunately, even with the tie, tonight's match is going to end up going to the Ignited Embers.
No, it is not.
Congratulations.
We are 1-1.
Oh,
we are 1-1, my pal.
That's right.
Get the Kings Row Saints take
Lijiang. I digress. I am wrong. I am totally wrong on this one. So they can still bring it back. I don't know why I thought.
I mean, it's looked dominant for the
week.
Yes, indeed. It's looked dominant so long for Ignited Embers now, since they figured out the aggression. Like, Lijiang was a little bit off-putting, but Ignited Embers has just downloaded them from this point onward. And this will be interesting. I'd like to see Pika Bandito come out on the D.Va, just because it offers a little bit more counterplay to things like a Blossom, to things like a Mei Blizzard, because it's not like a Graviton where you have to predict it. You can actually just follow it through the air and eat it as a D.Va. So it'd be interesting to see Pika Bandito come out on the D.Va instead of Zarya.
Well, I'm kind of surprised, because we're going to see the Hog Hook, or the Halt Hook.
I mean, you get one fight if you're on the defense here, so you've got to get it.
I always make weird combinations of those two statements.
You have the piggy and the horse.
Yeah, the piggy and the mechanical horse coming out here for the side of Kings Row Saints right now, and we're gonna see the same strat once again. They're gonna teleport to the high ground. We're gonna see Nexus back on that Reaper once again, seeing if they can control that. Paragon using that shield so that they can make sure that they're managing every time that they see a turret go up, it's immediately shot down. And they're going to see that come in right now. They're getting aggressive. They're looking to see if they can take out the Immortality, and it will be successful. But the first pick still hasn't happened yet. Wave's going to follow up on Nexus as Zac follows up on Paragon. And I hate to say it, but a 4v6 fight with a Freezing Mei and a laser, two laser-guided women, that is going to immediately shut this down. 3 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock, and we're going to see Ignite and Embers take the lead after the half, giving them 2-1 against the Kings Row Saints.
And King Zero, all of a sudden you're on the back foot. All of this aggression, you're still playing your aggressive style, and it's just completely hard countered. You don't know what to do here anymore. Really, it's not like your aggressive play style is handicapping you per se. It's just you're getting counterplayed so hard you have to come up with something else. But do they have something else in the playbook, or is it just hold W and pray?
Yeah, that is really what it's going to come down to. So Nexus was able to get a pretty good kill streak going, which is surprising, despite the fact that they were finding themselves on the back foot so much. But hopefully they're able to figure it out going into this last map, because this is Kings Row Saints' last opportunity to bring it into overtime, if at all possible.
Yeah, I mean, just
And
depends on what map we're looking at.
yeah, and that's the question. Apparently, our teams are asking for a 5-minute break, and I mean, we do our 5-minute
I mean, we could just
halftime.
talk.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could just talk about things. I
we
mean,
could just talk. How you doing there, Megalad? How's it going?
yeah, it's great. I mean, I would like to actually point out, like, it was interesting to see Nexus on that 17-player kill streak, but as you know, kill streaks get reset after each round. So he got 17, but he had 18 elims overall, which means
Yep.
17 elims in one round, and then the other minimum 3 rounds that happened, he had 1 elim.
Interesting.
That's
That's
not a good
definitely an
look.
interesting setup right there, to be completely honest with you. So, looking in the chat right now, we don't have a lot of action, but I do want to see who
There's some
everyone
links or
is.
emotes.
There are some. Post this Jiri to give Pika high energy. So close to the rhyme.
You're
so
stretching.
close.
You're
so close.
stretching.
It's so close. And Big Nick is like, "Yay, go Big Nick!" And I don't
You
know
know
who
what?
Big Nick is, but go Big Nick.
I remember seeing Big Nick plug himself. Like, he was just like, "Yeah, who's this guy, Big
He's
Nick?
like,
You know
"Oh,
what?
I'm Big
That's the
Nick."
confidence I want."
Yeah, I know. It's almost like I'm watching Rick and Morty. I'm Tiny Rick.
Yep.
Pickle Rick. Yeah, I'm Big Nick.
Oh
Goodness
my
gracious.
goodness.
All right. Well, since we've got a little bit of time, I'll go ahead and do our plugs once again. Go ahead, hit that follow button at the top of your stream to get in on all the action Monday through Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at the Rose Cup OW on Twitch. You can also hit that subscribe button at the top of your stream. $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will continue to support our amazing community. You can also check out our Matcherino page. Just go to matcherino.com and search the Rose Cup, currently sitting at $280 right now for our 5 teams. Can anybody do some quick math? I want to say that that's like almost $55 per team per Division 9.
Something around there.
It's really close to that. So right now we're sitting at about $55 per winning team, as well as, let me go ahead and pull this up. They will also be receiving a 2-hour free coaching session with Natter. Natter provides great educational content for Overwatch, including community VOD reviews and live coaching. And you can catch Natter at their Twitch, twitch.tv/NatterOW, as well as finding them in the Rose Cup Discord under our partner section. So not only do they get some moolah, but they also get to train with an incredible Overwatch player and coach. So it's going to be exciting to see who those will be, but that is about 15 weeks from now.
Give or take.
15 weeks from this moment, and I love it. They're giving us some love in the chat. Spam this pill to help the casters fill.
Help the casters time. You know what? You rhyme this time.
But it would have worked without the time. It was just been spam this pill to help casters fill. Would have worked out just fine. But no worries.
Drazilla
$56.
out here
Thank you, Blank Wave.
Resisting the peer pressure. Yeah, $56. And fun fact, I did the math. If each team has the 6 players and no additional subs or anything, that's $9.30 a player.
That's not bad. $10 for playing in a free tournament. I mean,
I mean,
that definitely couldn't be a bad thing, in my opinion.
that is
And
like 2
we've
4
done-
for 4s at Wendy's.
We've done quite a bit of math on this too. So if you don't know about Matcherino is a completely free site that you can earn money for a prize pool. Like they essentially give you activities that you can do and get your community to do. And with each activity completed, like it's something as simple as liking a post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Like that quick, and it's 60 cents. Boom, automatically into the prize pool. I think we calculated out, if we had all 2,100 members of our server do the minimum, which is just to do those tasks, they add up to roughly about $6. So think about it, 2,000 people, $6 a person. That's almost $12,000, folks. I think my math is right on that one, or approximately right. Like, that would be huge for a free tournament like that. That would be absolutely huge. Gonna answer this question from McBean in the chat. How does a team go about joining the Rose League, or otherwise the Rose Cup as we're now known? That is a great question. Unfortunately, we are finished recruiting for this season. We do 2 seasons a year. Our first season, season 2, was much earlier this year, between, I want to say it was like late February to early June-ish, something around those lines. And then this season will be going from early August all the way to late December. So we are going to be having a long haul on this one. And just know that we haven't had really like a limit in the amount of teams that we have. 126 teams are in the Rose Cup for this season that were recruited when we closed registration. 126 teams. So
across 5 divisions.
I would across 5 divisions. So I would say if we maxed out, like, we could be seeing upwards of 200 teams next time around. Like, that would be crazy.
Feels like it's almost doubled every time, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how it's gone. I wasn't here for season 1, but I was told season 1 was about 24 teams. And then second season, we were sitting at about 76, 74 teams. And then this season's 126. I'm just incredibly kind of beside myself with the amazing community that we have here. But now, let's go ahead and get back to the action. We're headed to Dorado, now that we've filled a little bit more than the time that we needed to. And we see the hog hook, the halt hook. Oh, I'm going to get it right eventually. Coming out once again from the side of Kings or Saints as they are on the defense. But we're going to see again that May Symmetra come out from Wave and Torrent Fury. And again, like I said before, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So if it's working for them, they got to keep making it work. And Wave's going to get that first pick onto Green Die as the Immortality Field goes down from Seinfeld. And I hear somebody incredibly supercharged, so I'm going to assume that that's Pika Bandito right now with those bubbles on point. Torrent Fury is going to get the cleanup of the tanks. Paragon and Snowbrit. Nexus able to get a pick onto Torrent Fury, but that's far from shutting down this push right now. 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
And you do see Paragon and Snowbrit both switch to more of a dive composition, which should work out better for them. Sure, the May is still a tad annoying, but ooh, picks like that, that's always hurts.
Ooh, that's not a good position to be in. Wave now becoming the hit scan character on May, ends up taking down a Nexus from the sky. And now we're going to see a dive composition, and I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, dive, I feel like it can do what it needs to here, but at the same time,
you have a lot
your
of
Pharah has to get picks, and for some odd like, May is just going to counter everything you see on your screen.
Yep, that's literally what we're seeing right now. 4 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock as they push under the bridge, going into Objective 2, and we haven't even seen a dive in. Barrage ends up coming down for Nexus, ends up taking down Samter, but Pika Bandito follows up on Nexus as Seinfeld takes down Torrent Fury. The Coalescence coming out to help the team from Zack Attack as Wave ends up taking down Paragon, and that payload is going to continue moving forward with only the 3 members of Kings Row Saints there to defend.
Yeah, and it looks like unless there's a last-second contest, it's going to be the side of Ignited Embers grabbing it up pretty much outside of that one pick for free. And
oh man, and here comes the Maywall and the Graviton right there already. Fix Soup ends up picking off Nexus, who is swapped over to the Junkrat now. I gotta say, I feel like that's a really good pick. If they can use that Junkrat to their ability, just about, like, for me as a Junkrat player, it's all about that concussion mine. You throw a grenade, you hit the concussion mine, 250 health, taken out just about every time. The chatter comes down, doesn't end up getting a lot of follow-up on it thanks to the beat drop coming in from Seinfeld to save the day. We're going to see Snowbrit end up getting demeched right there as Nexus takes down Semter. The Torrent Fury is going to follow up on Whale. The Primal Rage comes out from Paragon, looking to clean up Torrent and will be successful as they move into the back line, looking to see if they can get some additional picks. We're going to see Seinfeld come in, end up getting that punch kill onto Fix Soup, and stall out the payload here at just past the second objective doors.
Yep, and that door is closed, which means the attackers have to come in. It's tighter chokes, so you finally get the defensive hold you're looking for if you're Kings Row Saints, but at the same time, it's 4 minutes on the clock and they've already got control back over the payload.
I agree, and now we're going to see the Reaper come out for Torrent Fury once again, which could end up being dangerous. We're going to see now the Tire coming out from Nexus, looking to see if they can get the pick on somebody, anybody. But with that beat drop coming out from Fix Soup, that's not going to be, not going to end up getting much of anything other than barrier. Torrent Fury is going to follow up on Paragon right there as the payload continues to push forward with the help of Pika Bandito getting those bubbles in on the team. We now see the Maywall coming up as it moves into its final destination. That payload only about 5 meters away. Blizzard now coming out from Wave, trying to see if they can hold on to the objective. Paragon trying to hold on with all their might, but gonna end up getting taken down as Wave ends up falling just before that with the tackle between the 2 rounds. I don't want to say anything more on that as Nexus now back out with the Reaper, ends up taking down Sam Terror with the help of Whale on Pika Bandito. Looking in the chat, we've got Pyrusis saying, I used to say Naisu, but now I say Zakataksu.
You might be stretching, you know. I was with the...
I'm the one that says the dad jokes around here, but we're really pushing it, folks.
I was down with the it used to be a drought, but now there's a Torrent Furies. I was liking that.
We need a pause. Uh-oh.
Oh, and it appears as though the dad jokes in chat have actually broken our game. Well, this is always fun.
I think interesting. I don't know exactly why we had a
I think both teams are wondering, well, who paused, and it's a pretty fun.
Well, Paragon ended up calling out the pause, so they must have been having some connection issues. I guess.
I guess so.
Might
but
have been resolved. It's something that happened. It's happened before. So I mean, it's not like they were in a big fight or anything. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, we are ready to go there whenever y'all are. So 2 minutes 55 seconds on the clock right now. We're getting ready to see them come back in from Ignited Embers as they go ahead and figure out how to get past this new composition. Shatter comes down, ends up getting 4, or make that 5 right there. Counter Shatter comes out as well, but the Maywall ends up separating out the team. Now the Graviton coming in along with, I believe, the beat drop and Coalescence from Seinfeld and Whale. That's going to allow them to continue to move in on this as Paragon gets the Fire Strike onto Sam Terror. That's going to go ahead and push them all the way back to the spawn doors right there. 2 minutes 20 seconds on the clock.
And look at this positioning from WAV. Nobody knows he's here. He's on the lower ground in, I believe it's the B spawn.
Yep.
For the defenders.
Wave's
could potentially
exactly
could, if there's any sort of not realized overextension from the side of Kings Row, this could be a really unfortunate thing. Just because it's so hard to scout it, you don't know it's
Oh,
there.
nope. Now they're
Nope, they
gonna
met
know
up.
they're there. Because they met up with Waves.
Your fans
Oh, Fat Shatter coming down from Paragon once again. They were trying to do like a back cap, but it took way too long for them to get there. And I think they might have known that that Wave was sitting underneath, but maybe not. But definitely when that Maywall came up, they were like, yeah, we know what they're doing. Looking in the chat, Black Glasses MK saying Ignited Embers really said, yo, we need a logo by tomorrow. Somebody cook up something real quick. And since I'm not looking at the stream, I don't know what they're... hey, that's not bad. That's pretty similar to what we see from Nebula Phoenix. Sometimes simple is better, you know? So nothing wrong with simple. Now we're going to see the Blizzard and the Blossom in return come out. Torrent Fury takes down Green Dye as well as Whale and Paragon. They're going to clean up the backline, and that's probably going to be all she wrote, folks. Team kill coming out, 45 seconds on the clock as that payload moves its way back into Objective 3 for the third time now. We're going to see the Maywall come up as Seinfeld able to touch the point. Nexus comes out with the Blossom, takes down Fix Soup as Fix Soup follows up on Green Dye. We're now going to see, who do we got there? Snowbrit coming out on the Hammond, trying to distract on point, but with that May, going to be really difficult to continue doing that if at all possible. The tackle ends up coming in from Paragon, trying to get that kill, but ends up allowing Torrent Fury to just absorb into that shield damage. Torrent's going to take down Paragon as now the Blizzard comes down from Wave, looking to see if they can clean it up. Green Dye just doesn't have that icicle just yet, so Pika Bandito melts him down. Snowbrit able to take down Torrent Fury, but the Coalescence now coming out from Zack Attack ends up taking down Seinfeld as Sam Terr now on the Hammond ends up taking down Nexus. Paragon follows up on Zack Attack, and it is a continued fight for the objective. We see the battle of the Hammonds right now. It is 2v2 now on the objective as we see Torrent Fury coming back in. We're seeing the freeze onto Pika, and they're going to end up getting taken down by Seinfeld. Overtime continuing to tick away with only 4 meters left to get that objective in, but with the spawn advantage, it's not going to end up going down that way. Round 1 completed, just 4 meters shy of objective number 3.
Green Dye 100% is the unsung hero of that entire push. When that fight starts, Samter is looking to get possibly the fattest shatter of the series so far, end it right then and there, no stall potential. And Green Dye, whether by accident or intentional, possibly intentional, but you can't ever rule out just miracles, walls him up. That way the shatter connects with nobody and then proceeds to just get huge walls in his freeze, which just doesn't allow Pika Bandito to continue dealing damage on the Zarya or Samter to keep rolling around on the Hammond. I mean, truly just clutch plays coming out from the side of Kings Row Saints. But now they have to finish the map just to go to Game 5.
That is true. And looking at this right now, Cryptographer in the chat says, I'm pretty sure Pika prevented them from C9ing with the Graviton. So it looks like they might have been able to get it in there, but the Graviton ended up being too close to the objective. So they ended up continuing to stall it out. So maybe a little bit of luck, maybe a little bit of skill. I mean, there's definitely a lot of that in Overwatch, to be completely honest with you. Sometimes I see these matches like I totally know how this is going to go down, and then somebody gets a 4K and it completely turns it around. Cryptographer throwing in, spam this dog, because Embers are pog.
Seeing a lot of Embers love in the chat. You do see the occasional Kings Row, and I mean, Kings Row now rolling out on this dive composition once again. We see Nexus flexing his hero pool a little bit more, was on the Sombra just for scouting purposes, goes on to the Pharah, but no Mercy by his side, so interesting to stick onto the Pharah here.
I'm more interested in the fact that Wave is just sitting there wailing away at Nexus, and Nexus isn't paying attention. And they're gonna
Where's my Mercy?
Yeah, they're going to get taken out very quickly right there as we see Nexus come back into the fight. They're looking to see if they can get that first pick, and it's going to be successful. Paragon taking down a Wave, and the rest of the team moving down into the choke. Zack Attack's going to end up taking down Green Die as both D-Max come out for both Divas. Anti-Nade ends up coming in from Whale, looking to see if they can clean it up, but Zack Attack's going to take down Whale as Paragon follows up onto Torrent Fury. We see that Pharah back in the sky, and Nexus seeing if they can get that damage down. They're going to get chased down by Pika, who's now in on the Diva. Wave absolutely able to get that pick onto Paragon right there as the D-Max comes in once again for Snowbrit, and that is going to be a stalled objective. 2 minutes 45 seconds on the clock.
They just get it under bridge here, and this is one of the hardest points to push on Dorado. Once again, we see Nexus sticking to this Pharah, even though there's no mercy to pocket them, possibly switching after Barrage or switching now. But
Nope.
yeah, I mean,
Not
it's
yet.
looking like they just plan to be Pharah and be annoying, but Zack Attack, for all we know, could be
feel
the one taking him down.
I know. I feel like the Junkrat would have been a better pick for this fight, but you never know. Strelitzia _X says KRS love here. Cat heart emoji. So definitely got some KRS love in the chat. 2 minutes on the clock right now as we are still seeing this stall come out from the side of Ignited Embers, and I'm not for certain what they're waiting for. It looks like Nexus has now swapped over to the Mei, which we haven't seen yet tonight. We haven't seen Nexus on the Mei. Dragon Strike gonna end up coming out, separates out the team. The question is, can they take advantage of that? And they will. Paragon able to take down Torrent Fury as the wall comes up for Torrent. Fix Soup able to get that anti-nade kill onto Seinfeld as the rest of them move in on this supercharger, trying to see if they can take it out. Will be successful as Wave takes down Paragon. Diva Bomb coming in for Pika, but it's too high. It's way too high to get any damage in as we see the bubble protecting right now. Amplification Matrix comes out as Torrent Fury ends up taking down Nexus and Green Die, and the only ones left on the objective are going to be Snowbrit and Whale. They're going to follow up on Torrent Fury and regroup with the rest of the team as they push into the objective once again. Tackle ends up coming in, as well as the Shatter from behind. Paragon ends up taking down Zack Attack, as well as the Graviton coming out from Snowbrit. 45 seconds remaining on the clock as the D-Mech comes in for Pika, but Wave following up on Paragon once again. Blossom ends up coming out, but getting the kill onto Seinfeld, and the rest is history as they go ahead and melt the rest of the team with Samter and Torrent. 30 seconds remaining on the clock, and it looks like this is Kings Row Saints' last chance at victory tonight.
I mean, they don't even have any tools really to work with. You gotta hope that your Coalescence can get you an extended fight where you can either get Dragons or Blizzard, but even then there's gonna be a Symmetra wall and a Supercharger to deal with, and Paragon's already down.
All right, well, the Supercharger's on the wrong side of the wall, though, so that might not be a good way to fight that out. Pika Bandito ends up getting the first pick onto Seinfeld as the wall goes up to protect the team. Zack Attack and Sam Terra follows up onto Nexus and Snowbrit, and I hate to say it, but this is probably about all she wrote. Diva Bomb in overtime. That's going to go ahead and clear the objective. Ignited Embers walking away with the 3-1 victory tonight against the Kings Row Saints.
I mean, definitely, the first map was a little bit sketchy, but after that, Torrent Fury not only popping off, but just the entire team as a whole new to play, defensive enough, wait for the overextend and get the kill that they needed. Kills, and just really tear apart the entirety of Kings Row.
Yep, that's really what it ended up coming down to. Even that play of the game shows how strategic that they were. The Blizzard ended up coming out, and Torrent ended up popping out the Blossom in their backline, so they couldn't. So one, they ended up taking down the Mei that threw the Blizzard, and two, the rest of the team couldn't follow up because they were too busy taking care of the Reaper in the backline. So that really just ended up shutting down that entire thing for them right there. But we will see some more incredible Overwatch this week. Until then, though, we want to see what your player of the match is for this evening. So go ahead and start blowing that up in the chat. Megalad, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
It's really hard with Ignited Embers because it was just so much teamwork with the team. Like, it's hard to pick out one single player, but if I had to pick one back against the wall, I'd say Torrent Fury, 100%. Whether it be the Symmetra or the Reaper, or I think even the May for half a second or two. Just phenomenal picks, always causing damage, always causing a ruckus, and just setting up his team for success.
Nope, I completely agree with you there. I'm gonna have to give mine to um I think I'm gonna have to give mine to Pika Bandito on the tank line. Just doing an incredible job on that Zarya, even on that Diva, able to eat up stuff when it came to Dorado right there. Just was completely charged up a majority of the time I saw Pika doing damage in there. And so I'm gonna have to give it to them for this evening. Looking in the chat, it looks like um, they're giving love to Torrent. I believe Torrent Fury for sure, coming out from Bird Keeper right there. Um, so it looks like they're all about the big plays here in the chat this evening. We also got some not so nice words about Sim coming from Canadian Syrup. Sim is incredibly powerful, but remember that nerf is coming. That nerf is coming, folks. So be
At
sure
some
to
point.
exactly that nerf is going to be here sooner than you know
And
it.
it comes with a Bastion buff.
What?
Yeah, there's a tiny little
Oh,
Bastion buff a lot of
oh,
people have forgotten about.
a Bastion buff. Geez, I'm excited now. I love me some Bastion. So, Stretliz- Stratlitzia also gives some love to Nexus as well as Ice Ols and Birdkeeper saying OP Pika. OP. so
OP.
OP. Pika was doing an incredible job. That's why I had to give mine up to them. So again, reminder, hit that follow, help support our community with that subscribe. Go to our Matcherino and do some of the quests there to help grow our prize pool to all that it can be. If you're not feeling the whole donating, like doing the 10 minutes thing, you can also donate directly. All the money goes directly to the prize pool either way. So be sure to do that. And we also want to, again, give some love to Natter, who's providing those 2-hour free coaching sessions for our winning teams. Twitch.tv/NatterOW. With all that being said, that's it for us here at the Rose Cup. I'd give you what next week's schedule is, but I don't know what it is because I got to go write it now. So until next time, this has been Captain Jack.
And Megalad.
And we want to give a special thanks to First Night of Knee, who not only did the entire Euro Cup over at Monkey Bubble today, but also was able to come in and do our match tonight. We couldn't do it without you, buddy. And we'll see y'all next time.